In our final segment of growing plants and vegetables, fruits in small spaces, we're going to talk about some of the issues that you might run into if you're starting on this adventure, on this journey, if you will. And we have Amy back here with us again. Amy, what are some of those common mistakes that you see made when folks are starting to grow and grow in small spaces?
Okay. One of the things you want to absolutely start with is to make sure that you are picking things that you actually like to eat. That's one of the common mistakes is you get excited about growing something, but then you realize after you have it grown and you harvest it that, oh, I actually don't enjoy this food. So that's another way to get kids involved, is to say, what do you really like to eat? Let's grow it together.
And the beauty of that is also, you can use some of those ingredients and say, a kid's favorite food like pizza.
Right, and once they harvest it, they can help prepare those meals as well.
Yeah, so it's a whole family opportunity for folks like that.
Right.
So what are some other issues that we're going to see out there?
One of the things we talked about was containers, and you can use a large variety of them. One of the things you do want to make sure is to have drainage in your container. Otherwise, your roots will be sitting in water once you water them until it evaporates. So it's nice to have proper drainage so it's not just sitting in standing water. The other thing that you want to make sure you do is to not underwater. We talked about overwatering, but you do need to have patience with the process and keep track of it. For the first couple of weeks, you probably will not notice a whole lot, but once the root's established, it'll just shoot up and it'll start really going to town. The other thing that you can do is make sure you have support systems. So like if you like sweet peas, you could put a little trellis inside of a large container, have them grow up, and the kids can pick sweet peas. Then since they're an early season plant, when they die off, you could replant with something like pole beans, so you have green beans.
So it's kind of like almost a never-ending cycle you could go through.
Correct. And the nice thing about container planting is you can extend the growing season by moving them indoors. If you have the space to move them inside, as long as they're getting enough light, you can continue your growing season through the fall.
And obviously you're picking out different things that you want to eat, different things that you like, that you want to make sure sprout up, but what happens if maybe you're a little concerned and you don't think they're going to sprout up? When is usually kind of a time where you'll begin to see, let's say, a basil plant or a tomato plant?
That's going to depend on the type of plant. So it can be anywhere from a few weeks to a month. It just depends on the type of plant. One of the things that you can do is to fertilize periodically. So you can use an off-the-shelf fertilizer as long as you're using it appropriately. You have to read the label instructions, but you can definitely add that in when you first plant or throughout the growing process.
Definitely important to read over some of the fine print, talk with maybe a sales associate or somebody who's providing you with some of the equipment just to make sure that you've got the right fertilizer.
Definitely, there's lots of knowledgeable people to help out.
And I think what is one of the biggest things, probably not to get discouraged, right?
Right. Yes, there's going to be successes and failures. I've been gardening most of my life from growing up and through my adulthood so far, and I've had many failures. But the important thing is not to get discouraged. And once you grow something to maturity and you get to harvest, it's a great reward. It's
that good feeling of success, of accomplishment, and then hopefully putting it to good use in a salad or a food dish of your choosing.
Yep.
Well, Amy, we've really appreciated your time and kind of giving us some of those tips and ideas for growing in small spaces and small areas. And thank you so much for being here.
No problem. Thank you.